Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the BEA, their part number 10MS11J. This is a touchless switch for a jam-mounted application. It basically means it's going to be a switch, in this case on a frame, because it's narrow, and you're just going to wave your hand in front of it, and that's going to activate the switch, or activate whatever the switch is in front of. That's what it looks like in the box. There as well. I have one removed from the packaging. Let's take a closer look at it. We'll do a visual review. We'll go over the extended description information. We're going to then tackle the links that are down below, including the installation instructions, which, like everything BEA, is super simple and straightforward. This is a jam mounted. That means that it's quite narrow. That means that it's intended to fit into the face of a frame or a jam. Hollow metal frames are 2-inch. Aluminum are a little bit smaller than that. But this measures, they've got 1.68 inch overall. I'm going to go with 1.75. Overall height, about 4.5 inch. They've got a depth of 0.098. I'd say it'd be accurate, about 1 inch. Okay, so there are some dimensional properties. They make three versions of this. They make three versions of this. A jam mount. They are going to make a single gang box mount, and I think a double gang. Yeah, they do. They make a jam style. They make a single gang, and then a double gang format of this material. There is the rest of the extended description information tells us it is a touchless switch, stainless steel, jam style surface mount box with text and logo. Okay. They're intending that you surface mount this. So, you're going to see the faceplate project off. I don't see why you wouldn't get fancy and recess it. I would want it recessed if I could have it recessed. If it was going into my jam, I would probably order my frame stainless or wood, or probably wouldn't be wood, or stainless or hollow metal. The thickness of all of that is 0.183, 0.183. You could certainly manufacture a couple of mounting tabs if you wanted to recess mount that in. You're certainly going to want to use a mortar guard or a dust box behind. A dust box would be appropriate, or a mounting box. A dust box would be appropriate. But they do call it surface mounted. Okay. I'd like to have it recessed, if possible, with text and logo. Text and logo, obviously. Touchless device for reducing the spread of germs and improving accessibility in healthcare, retail, industrial, and commercial settings. The MS11 has been purpose-built to withstand the extreme rigors of germ-free and sanitary environments. This material, I don't know the end user. This is going to a door distributor in Great Britain. I don't know the ultimate user, but it's people who don't want to touch light switches. That would be number one, or it's a clean room environment. So touching things is to be tamped down as much as possible. Okay. Now moving on further, NEMA 4 enclosure capable of use in industrial and extreme washdown conditions. You can do an internet search for what NEMA 4 specifies. It is an indication of the ruggedness of the item. Illuminated blue center changes to green upon reception or activation. Adjustable sensing zone from 2 to 24 inch. Adjustable audible alert setting, including silent mode required for hospitals and other noise-sensitive environments. Comfortable switch delay from 0 to 30 seconds, allowing unique user-defined device placement. Available, I would think you're coming through the opening or need to get to the opening with equipment. Available pre-assembled packages removes the complexity of installation and adds state-of-the-art 900 megahertz wireless technology. removes the complexity of the installation should be the legal middle name of BEA. Everything they do is incredibly simple and straightforward. Even I can understand it. So you're going to have included the installation instructions. There's going to be a template. Okay. There's going to be a screw package with a spanner wrench for the security screws, the snake eyes security screws that are included. Now, as I said earlier, where are you going to use this? Obviously, somewhere where the spread of germ is to be tamped down as much as possible. Obviously, hospitals, clean room environments, places that have that sort of requirement. This item is going to be able to operate with an adjustable time delay or hold time, an adjustable sensing zone. It will give you the ability to have audible on or off. It's going to, and I'm looking at the back end of this, depending on how you wire it and configure it, you will be able to have this operate in time delay mode. You know, activate it, goes back to its natural state, or toggle mode, where you can literally have it act like a manual switch. It's on until you swipe, and then it's off. So I would think that the most common application of this is going to certainly be, or they call it timed mode, is timed mode where you can swipe and then something occurs. An electric strike is momentarily de-energized, automatic doors are made to operate, or basically forcing something else to happen. You could also have a clean room environment where the lights need to be turned on. Go in the room, they're on until you leave, and then they're off. So, like many things that are low voltage and switches, receivers, transmitters, all kinds of different hardware, and then when you incorporate into that stuff all of the different types of locks that can be brought into the scenario, you can really start to engineer rather complex systems. An application of that might be a hospital that has a pair of just off the top of my head, a hospital with a pair of doors, security doors. They have surface, or let's say surface vertical carotid exit devices with electric latch retraction. There's an automatic door operator. There will be the ability to have a key switch. There will be the ability to have door contacts so that you can report back the condition of the door, open or closed. And something like this switch can be on the ingress side, where this will tell the automatic door operator to tell the exit devices to retract, then to go into the opening cycle, etc. The switch, the door contacts, are just there for the party. But the fact of the matter is, you can put this stuff together to do simple things like just turn a light on and off, or you can get further into it. Okay, and that's really the hallmark of the BEA entire line of products. The most common stuff from BEA are just simply transmitters and receivers. Now let's tackle the links down below. First, the cut sheet. The cut sheet is literally a page out of their catalog that's going to go over all of the top-level features that I've already discussed. It will give you a bit of electrical characteristics or profile as well. Additional information. You would certainly want to consider the 10-box Jamb ST, the Jamb mount box. That's going to give you a nice, tidy enclosure for this to sit into. I couldn't imagine you'd want the potentiometers and the jumpers and the relay exposed to whatever is in the wall, and it's certainly not going to be something that would be completely dirt and dust free. I would absolutely consider that as a required piece of equipment, would be my opinion. The other part numbers for the single gang and double gang are there as well. You can read the rest of that if there's anything else we've not covered. Let's move to the user's guide. The user's guide is literally included with the hardware. Page 1 of the user's guide, it's a bit different than the document here, just rearranged. electrical characteristics. Then it maps out for you what the back of this all looks like. So you've got a couple of potentiometers, like a volume knob is a potentiometer. So you're going to be able to adjust your detection zone from 2-inch to 24-inch. You're going to be able to set your output timer from 1 to 30 seconds. You're going to have over here your output mode jumper, and right now it's just placed there. It's not jumped. That will go from timed mode to toggle mode. Audio control jumper is down here, silent or audible. Your annunciator is this little gizmo right here that does look like a tiny annunciator if you've ever seen a low voltage annunciator. Just a squawk box is what it is. You'll sell an annunciator to someone who has a DC strike, a strike that's installed using DC voltage, and the easy way to determine the difference between AC and DC is when AC is activated, you'll hear a buzzing sound. Hit the buzzer, let me in. Well, DC does not buzz. Some people need that audible indication that the strike is free, so you'll add an annunciator to it so that you can hear it happen. Then you're going to have your wires coming out of your relay. Your relay is underneath here, and you got your wires, which we're going to define shortly. Length of the wires, they say, is 12-inch. Moving on to page 2, public service announcement type stuff is listed there. Wiring is there. You've got your red and black wires. That's pretty obvious. That's going to be your power. You're going to have your common, normally open, and normally closed wires, which are defined. Common is white, green, normally open, and yellow, normally closed. A quick definition of that. You can either... a light switch can be... Well, okay, a light switch. So when the lights are on, the circuit is closed. When the lights are off, the circuit is open. There's a natural state to hardware, to electrified hardware. Is it naturally normally open or naturally normally closed? When you take the hardware out of the box, what is it when you just take it out and put it on your desk? That's what it is. This can handle those, this can communicate to those devices in either of their native states. So you can either have current normally interrupted or normally running. When it's normally interrupted, like a fire alarm panel that communicates to a power supply, which probably very likely applies to these doors, you could have electrified cylinder dogging, so that you could have electrified dogging on an exit device, where when the power supply will communicate to the fire alarm. The fire alarm is normally open, but it's energized so the current can flow. Power supply is feeding the electric dogging. That means the latch is retracted. When the alarm panel gets an alert signal or is triggered, it falls to its natural state, which is normally open. That cuts the power. Bottom line, through the power supply cuts the power supply, everything falls to its normal, take it out of the box state. In a condition of electrified dogging, that panic device, when you take it out of the box, is not going to be dogged. The latch will be thrown. So there's an example, maybe an overly complex one, that this will communicate normally open or normally closed. You'll use one of those two wires with the common normally open or common normally closed. Steps 3 shows how you can modify the detection zone and the output timer with the potentiometers. You're just going to turn those clockwise or counterclockwise. Let me get my fingers out of the way. Okay. Audible control, jumper on, jumper off, and the output mode, toggled or timed. Time's probably going to be the most common. Functionality is defined below. Audible alert is on. It sounds for half of a second when a detection occurs. Timed mode, this is recommended for automatic door operations. In timed mode, a detection activates the relay, and the relay holds for a predetermined amount of time adjusted by the output time potentiometer. 1 to 30 seconds. Counterclockwise to decrease, clockwise to increase. That's typical. You're obviously going to need a timed mode so that you are feeding whatever has to happen for a certain amount of time. If you set that to, if you had a timed mode to a fail secure electric strike, fail secure strike, no power, it's locked. You're going to feed power to the electric strike so that it temporarily releases. If you have that set to 1 second and you hit me, I switch, and then 1 second the power is again cut, I don't have enough time to grab the door and open it. You need to increase that. Another example of that would be an electric deadbolt. I've done this one, an electric deadbolt in a frame. Customer comes in, reception, switch, a button, send power to the electric deadbolt, pull that back. It's unlocked. Customer comes in, door opens, door closes. Door closes, lock is still retracted until the timer elapses, then it throws back out. You need time for that door to open and door to close. So you'd set that out a little bit further. Obviously, the term is not ghosting. You don't want coattailing, maybe the term. You have the risk of people coming in behind you naturally. Anyway, toggle mode is recommended for switch applications. In toggle mode, a detection activates the relay and a second detection deactivates the relay. The relay will hold indefinitely until a second detection occurs. So, lights on, you walk in. Stays on for 8 hours till your shift is over. Lights off. Lights off. Set up an operation. When first powered, the backlit hand symbol will alternate between blue and green for 5 seconds. Allow at least 15 seconds for the sensor to complete startup. During normal operation, when a detection occurs, the hand symbol will momentarily change from blue to green. And if you've enabled the audible alert, you'll also get an audible alert. There's troubleshooting on the last page, which you hopefully don't have to look at all, and I highly doubt you will, knowing BEA's build quality. The technical sheet is there, and that's certainly going to be a summary of everything that we've just talked about. They do put this information in several and many different formats, and it's lovely to have access to all that data. Then finally, well, tantamount, there is a link then to the product catalog where you will be able to review everything BEA in terms of their sensors for automatic doors. If you ever encounter transmitters or receivers and they have a name from someone that's not BEA, I would strongly urge you to scrutinize it closer. I believe that BEA private labels material for lots of types of end users. I don't think that certain manufacturers of automatic door equipment manufacture receivers and transmitters. I think that they're privately labeled, and you'll want to be familiar with BEA if you deal with, certainly if you deal with automatic doors, if you deal with electrifying door hardware, if you deal with the need to have sensor control over an opening. That catalog will prove to be indispensable. It is the most simplest, elegant, distilled presentation of a product line from any manufacturer that has such technical material. They've really made it completely accessible and digestible by someone who doesn't connect wires all day long and look at wiring diagrams. Their technical support people are responsive as well. Any questions? Oh, forgive me. Final, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full line catalog that will show you all things from BEA, not only sensors for automatic doors, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as all of the BEA products that we sell. Any questions on the 10MS11J or any other BEA product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.